I have seen children like not struggle but have challenges extremely early. And the thing about it is when you think of the importance of education and when it actually matters, it's sometimes kind of too late. And people really don't. I think it's just another sense of just to build morale and hopefully change positively how these people show up at work, and just know that we're all a big happy family type thing because we go out and we do this and we go do that. Don't think it's a stress outlet. I think that's a bit too far. I think it's still. Welcome to Childcare Unlocked, where we talk about all things education, from childcare to college. I have a special guest today, as you see, and not only a special guest, but my first ever guest on the podcast. So I would like to introduce you all to Patrice Smith. She is a 26-year in the game education of all levels. She is from New Jersey, and now she is kicking it with us down here in the South to help with the education for our minority students and everybody across the board in education. So I will let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Patrice Smith. Like Amira said, I've been doing this for 26 plus years in early childcare. I love what I do, but you do see a difference how everything has changed within the 26 years that childcare is still going on. The goods and the bads.
So today we are going to start off strong because I know my solo episodes have been a little dry. So we're going to spice it up a little bit with a back and forth conversation with advocating for children in your room or wherever you work when nobody else will. Okay. So I know at first the parents do what they can, but it is a lot of situations where they just don't know. And then admin is overwhelmed with a whole bunch of different situations, especially in the world today and how the education specifically is changing. So I want to hear from you, Patrice. What is your thoughts of how you will advocate for your child, say with a speech impediment?
So, with a speech impediment, you really kind of want to wait until between 1.5 and 2, and you're just going to give the parents all the information that you know. And if you don't know anything, you can go to an admin or someone that has more knowledge with it so you can get them the best resources. But right off the bat, um, we have conferences. So, hey, I noticed your child is not where they're supposed to be right now. Here are some things you can do at home. You push for books. Books are the most important thing for your child to learn their speech. Have conversations, not just yes and no conversations, open ended questions too, because you really need your child to actually understand or know that they can comprehend. If you do a yes and no, they're just nodding their head or saying yes. But do they really fully understand the question that you're asking them? So, after giving them all those tools and everything else, I think you meet with them indirectly over a phone call, something in passing, and you just say, hey, how's everything going? Have you tried any new things? And if you did try something, is it something we can use in the classroom with all the other children as well?
Okay, okay, okay. So, what if a parent, after you've given them all those great tips, what if a parent comes and says, well, I work too much and I'm a single mom. I have three other kids that are older and I just don't have time.
And I tell them, I express them like, I understand that you are a single parent and it will be difficult. You said you had older children. So your older children can be part of the process. Like they could be reading stories to their sibling, they could be singing songs. It doesn't always just have to be on YouTube or a tablet or something. You could be just walking around the house singing. You could be talking about on your car ride from home to school. So in that little bit of time, instead of the music blasting, you could be asking your child some questions, and that helps with back and forth conversation and helps develop their language skills.
Okay, okay. So specifically with the using your time wisely, okay? So you're driving the older children to school before you drop the smaller child at daycare. Make sure you use every little gap that you can because you know that you're going to be tired after a long shift. You know you got to cook, you know you got to do this, and you know you need time for yourself at the end of the day. So try to use your time as wisely as possible because they deserve a chance to be just as great as you had, even though you might not think you had the best chance either. So, with that, is there any personal experiences you've had in your 26 years of experience of somebody that's just literally disassociated, either disassociated in a positive way or disassociated in a negative way? Because it could differ, okay? Because I don't know if it's a positive way to be disassociated, but for postpartum for moms, it or I guess the adults being very involved in their own issues and just not knowingly neglecting their own children. So
So
how do
unconsciously
yeah,
not seeing the signs, unconsciously just not fully being there 100%. Is that what you're
right.
asking? So I've had a few moms and I've had some children with family situations, and it is challenging. You're not just there for the child, you're there for the whole family. So I'm not a big hugger when it comes to adults at all. People know that. But children, I will hug them, squeeze them, and everything else. And there was a situation where a parent, I could just see it on her face. Like she was just going through a difficult time and just broke down. And I was like, I'm going to have to hug her. But I was like, she really needs this support. I knew from her she didn't have family here. So I've only been that special person involved in their child's life. And I've been with them for going on 3 years. So we do continuity of care. So I will have your child from infancy all the way up just till about they go to preschool. And so it's a great bonding time for not just the children, but we connect with the families. And I hug this parent so tight, and it was like a relief. We just talked about what they were going through and what they were experiencing back and forth. Like, did I deal with that during my pregnancy? Did I deal with this? And so you have to become relatable, I think, is the key thing, where they feel comfortable enough to come to you. I don't like giving out my phone number to parents at all, but in certain situations I have, and I feel like it's like a nice, like I'm like kind of like a nice security blanket. Like they don't mind calling me here and there. Like we don't want it to make it a regular thing, but if they really have a question, they know they're more than welcome to shoot me a text or give them a call, and they know I'm not going to like just jump back on them and say, "Hey, I'm right here." So they know I do have a life outside of work. So just being relatable and knowing when it's the appropriate time to address situations too.
Okay. And that's some good advice for any of my teacher besties out there that is dealing with anything similar, or for the parents that just needed that extra push to know that there are teachers out there that care deeply about their work and deeply about their child that they're um, giving, you know, 8 hours of the day to. So just know that at the end of the day, we are pretty much a distant part of your family and that we love and care for you guys on every level possible, especially in continuity care, that we've been with the child forever.
Literally.
Forever. So I know personally, I've had a child when she was 3 months, and then now she's, well, she didn't just turn one, but she's one now. So learning and seeing the growth of the child from not being able to sit up to now running and jumping and doing all the things. So it's definitely amazing to see what a child can do, but just knowing and trying to help a parent that might be disconnected from that amazing experience.
Going back to when we were talking about families and stuff, we're in a world right now where everyone, there isn't like a mom and dad both present, or mom was one way and dad. So you're not just working with the child with mom, you're also working with the child with dad. And mom and dad do two different things at home. So getting them on the same page of everyone, like what we're doing at school, mom, we would like you to do that. Dad, we would also like you to do that as well. So finding that balance too, because you don't want to get too involved with people's personal lives when it comes to certain situations like that. It can be very a little crazy.
For sure. For sure. Emphasis on crazy. Emphasis on crazy. How about dealing with a parent in denial? Because I know a lot of the conversation is based off of what we can do to help the advocate for the child, which we definitely do, and we will have some more specific questions based in that. But how would you deal with a parent that is in denial for, I guess, special assistance for their child? So their child needs special assistance and they just don't see it at all, whether it's speech, whether it's behavior, whether it's social, emotional, cognitive, all the things.
So that's why we have conferences. And we, along with our conferences, we do a printout of their developmental scale. So parents just take the paper. I highlight, because I'm intense, I highlight the areas that the child really needs to work on. Along with that, I give them a printout of the CDC milestones and I clip it to their paper. And then on the bottom of every CDC, depending on the age, there is a spot that says for screenings, like autism screenings, and they're free. So I'm like, I circle free because I like things for free and it's for your child. And I think it's so important. If you even got a hint of something, it is okay to pick up the phone and call a place where he or she can get screened. Also, people don't know there is actually a developmental pediatrician. They're not just your normal pediatrician. This pediatrician is specifically for developmental, cognitive, social, emotional, on all those things. You do need a referral, but that's another thing that you can do that's so, so important. And just a back and forth conversation. And sometimes they may not even notice it until they get to preschool, where it's forced that their child will need screening or some type of help. And along with that, I do have parents saying that they are on the list. So everything is super, super delayed. It was delayed earlier, but now it's more and more delayed. So you're going to have a child, you're just going to have to change your work style so the child grasps something. And at home, just give them as much technique, support, and just follow up a lot. Just a lot of follow up, I think, because
Okay.
you want them to have the support that they need.
Okay. I know I've had some children in the past that was specifically speech impediment. So one got the help, and then the other had another child, or a little older, was having the same issue. So now she had two children that has the same issue, but she understood what they were saying. So at home, you get I know the teacher besties out here understand. They do it at home. Okay? They do it at home. But the 8 hours that I've been with your child, they don't. Okay, they don't. So, how exactly am I supposed to go about that? Am I supposed to? Well, you can't over power the parents, really, but with the time that I share and spend with that child, is there things that I could do to maybe aid in the process of increasing speech or clearing up any words when speaking?
Yes, and I want to applaud you, Miss Amira, because listen, I'm on that Chat GPT now, and I'm using it. And there's certain ways of wording what I was asking. And one of the things I said with a child with a speech impediment or a speech delay was reading. And I was like, okay, I get that. And then also, you know how the kids are saying like nana?
Mm-hmm.
The best way for them to learn to say nana is banana. So put an emphasis on your lip, eye contact always, because you want to make sure they're locked in, and really just say it around the classroom. Banana. When they have one in their hand, banana. What is this? A banana. So pick up different objects, enunciate the words. Reading, enunciation while you're at eating lunch or breakfast. I'm eating peaches, and just point out, oh, this is green, and have them attempt to say it. Also, videos. Take videos, write, document. With that parent that says that child says something at home, hey, can you show me a video of that? And sometimes they'll do it. Sometimes they like, oh, wait, remember I asked you for a video? Can you share a video? Like, we would love to see little Johnny reading or saying words at home. And then also do like a video of like the child. And we have this app that we use, ProCare. Not a big fond of it, but it's a little glitchy. But I send pictures, I send videos when I'm able to, just to have that connection along with the connection and showing the parents what their kids are actually doing versus just hearing it. Parents really want to see what their children are doing.
Okay. Okay, so y'all heard that? Okay, so we got to do a little bit more work in the time that we have, because it's possible for the child to be doing something at school but not at home.
That's
So it could be vice versa. So a lot of the not the children, the parents say that, you know, he's doing this at home, she's doing this at home, especially specifically with speech. Parents understand what they're trying to say, not all the time that they're actually saying, hey, I want to go to the bathroom, hey, I need to potty. It's not always like that. It's just like I'm a parent, so I understand what she's trying to say, I understand what he's trying to say. And warranted is some children out here actually real life saying, I need to go potty. So I'm not even gonna trip like that. That is not no children are really saying what the parents are saying. They are. But is there a specific age where you believe
yes, Amira.
is there a specific age where you think that they can be diagnosed for a specific thing? So I know doctors say one thing and then teachers believe another. And I also know that all children learn at a different pace,
Yes.
and that is a real thing. But if the child is between 1 and 3 before school gets real, is there a real sense of he might or she might have a delay?
This is a tricky one because doctors say, and I agree and I disagree. If it's like right in your face, like there's something wrong, like they're 3 still not talking, yeah, like we have a problem. But really, I wouldn't get my child diagnosed really fully if it was just like a little hint of this, a little hint of that until like at least kindergarten. Honestly, I wouldn't personally, but if I could actually like really see like, hey, my kid's not saying nothing, or my child is spinning in circles or rocking back and forth multiple times, I would want to talk to someone. And you don't always have to go with the first diagnosis for anything. Like get referrals, like find other people. Don't just take the first doctor to say, hey, there's something wrong. Do your research, definitely. But me personally, I would not, unless there was something that really spoke out. If the teacher had like lots of concerns and my child's with that person 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 300 something days out of the year, and they're like, hey, Miss Patrice, I feel like we can talk about this. And I'm like, yes, we can. Here's like some documentation. and let's do this together. Let's work together as a team, and let's help your child in whatever way that I can personally. But I would not get them evaluated until the CDC has it on the paper like 2 years old. So if by two you see all these signs and they're not completing those milestones, then go for it. I think your child should, but personally, I wouldn't.
I mean, that's totally fine. That is totally fine because sometimes you have to look at the whole situation because sometimes they're the 1 to 3 age and they're not talking and this other
Yes,
child is talking. But are you doing what you need to do? So as a teacher, they might have, cleared the field, but at home, are you engaging with them?
that's the thing.
Are they disassociated? Are you just throwing them in the room? Are you like giving them
Tablet.
tablet? Yes, the infamous tablet. Okay. So like let's look at the whole situation. So maybe it's not a delay and you're just missing the mark and
Oh,
they personally don't feel like that they're comfortable enough to talk to you.
no, that's fine. And also, it's also what they're eating too.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff, all the processed food. Like, listen, I know it's hard. Like, my son gets his chicken nuggets and everything else, but really, the candy, the cheese doodles, there's other ways of like getting your child like the nutrition that they need. They shouldn't be eating chips at 7:30 in the morning or a cookie because woo, it's a lot when they have a cookie or a whole container of juice. I am not for juice until after 2. So I'm just telling you guys that right now. So that juice, pew, and they're flying all over the room. So it's what they're eating too. It's not just the tablet, which is horrible, and the food. It's the back and forth conversations that I think people are missing. I know all some kids that know Gracie's Corner inside out, upside down. But if we sing Old McDonald, they're looking at me all crazy. So take the time to sing Old McDonald. Or I have coworkers that don't know old school nursery rhymes. Let's put down the tablet and just sing some old school stuff, or let's read a book.
Yeah. I agree. I think we definitely have to slow our life down, slow the day down, because I know in the world in general is so much going on, and as long as the kids have food in their bellies, a roof over their head, and clothes on their back, okay, as parents we have done our due diligence. But sometimes just adding in just a little bit here and there to give them a good solid foundation to be decent people in the world because you're not always going to be there. So can they really sustain their life and themselves and possibly somebody else after you're gone? So it don't have to be that deep and that serious at 1 years old, but do think of the full picture when you're just dismissing them, when you're just being more emotional in yourself than in the emotions of them. So I
Because they feel that. They like feel your energy.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, it's a lot to this thing. It is a lot to this thing, and I definitely want to commend all the teachers of all categories, all levels, all grades, all everything because y'all, we are doing a great job. Okay, we are doing the best that we can with what we have. I wish, me personally as well, wish that we had more to do better with, and so we can really like create a better future. Because right now, I would suggest y'all not to get sick.
Oh,
Okay, because these future doctors just don't get sick. Just don't get sick. But for our last category in advocating for the children when nobody else will or nobody else can is admin. So when you are working in your public school, private school, charter school, daycare, okay, the support of the admin matters. Okay, so it's only so much we could do because personally, I don't have any children. So I've been in the child care role for 3 years now. So I've learned as I've went. and I've learned based off of experience in family situations and just what I've seen with friends and stuff like that. But I've learned as I've went. Some stuff I just don't know because it's not like I don't have the experience to share or show or know the opposite of what to do, right? So when I go, me specifically, when I go to admin, I expect you to help me. Okay, help me. What that means to help me. And it's fire in the background, all of that. Okay, help me. So with you, I know you are a mother of one, and
No.
been, been in a 26 in the game for 26 years. What is your take on the support of admin when advocating for children?
So I've been in the role as an admin and worked with a wonderful team, and it's hard. It is very, very difficult because I'm not your friend. I'm your boss, and I will try my best to give you all the knowledge that I have or the direction. There's a lot going on behind the scenes of childcares. There's observations. There's this. There's ratings. There's that. Tuition, enrollment, just trying to stay like afloat during these challenging times. And I've been in the role of I'm in the role of a teacher. And I know deep down like they can't tell us everything. I just think that in certain situations, like, hey, if I can't do it, you might want to talk to one of the, I guess, seasoned teachers. Like send them to someone that can help them because you're not able to help them right then and there. Hey, can we set up a meeting? Are you free? I know people don't like to use their lunch, but sometimes it's the only time you're gonna like get someone to talk to. Like, hey, can I like steal 15 minutes of your time? Like, hey, can I put it on your calendar? I think of like when you're just directly going to say, hey, I need help right now. They're like have like 7 billion things. And I know some things happen, like if a child gets hurt, like you need help right now. You have to write that incident report. You don't know how to write an incident report, and even the example that they gave you does not really match what you're trying to write or what to say, like, and how to do it. So we should either have trainings, which are hard to do because we're short staffed and all this other stuff. And I just think you might have a seasoned teacher that you might want to talk to if you cannot get what you need right away. And then just follow up like, hey, by the way, so and so helped me with the situation I asked for your guidance with, and leave it at that.
I will receive that. I don't know about y'all, but I will receive that because sometimes, especially in the moment, emotions are running wild. It's hectic. You just need to get this done before the parent comes, or you have to call the parent. So sometimes it's hard to get a hold of admin because they're in meetings and they're on the Zoom and they're doing calls and they might be on their lunch break
Yes.
and they're not going to answer if you call. It don't even matter, they're not going to answer. But it is difficult sometimes to get a hold of admin, so I do think that is a good piece of advice to say, to have you a side teacher, a seasoned teacher that knows the ropes, to give you helpful advice when it comes to that, because at the end of the day we all just want to do right by the
Yeah.
children and don't want to especially do nothing wrong.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And with you like saying like, say if there is a situation, I've been at a center where we didn't have like a family support team. Like if a child got hurt, I'll call them now. Like I didn't have to go through chains of command to call someone about their kid getting hurt. And always to cover my butt, I always put everything in ProCare. ProCare. Um, I put everything in ProCare. I document everything. I take pictures inside, outside their mouth. I'm writing little notes. I'm getting a one of those horrible brown paper towels that don't soak up anything, but they're good as paper. I write the time that the child got hurt. I'm running down the hall and I call the parent. I leave a very detailed message, but everyone may not have the confidence to take the initiative to be like, hey, admin's not here. They're gonna be like, oh, well, sorry, mom, sorry, dad, admin wasn't here. I couldn't do anything. No parent wants to hear that. And when you are talking to a parent, You never say, I don't know. You always say, hey, at this time, let me get someone that does know something, or I'll have someone reach out to you. But never say, I don't know. They don't like
Cause I know personally, I don't say I don't know. I say I'm not sure, and then absolutely follow it up directly after.
Yeah.
Hey, but I know such and such knows. Let me go get her right
Yes.
quick. So let me. I don't ever leave them with no answer
Perfect.
because either that or I'm just not answering the phone. I'll be like, hey, y'all need to go get that. But for sure. Other than that, I want you to leave our audience off with one positive piece of advice and then one negative experience in general. It doesn't have to be
related to
based,
it.
yes, based off this topic.
Um, Something positive I want to leave you guys with is to just take the time to be with your kids. They grow up so fast. And hey, if it's raining, go out in that rain. If they want to play in the dirt, you get in that dirt. When they want that spider or frog, call me. But something negative is just thinking that you have the support at a facility and it completely backfires because people at the end of the day want to save their own butts. So don't overshare. Do your work as best as you can, and just just be you. Just be you, and don't expect anyone to like hold your hand and guide you because you may not always have that support. So take initiative.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna share a positive and a negative right quick, and then we will be done. My positive, because I know y'all might like what she got to say. Only being here for 3 years, but it's fine. I learned very quick. So for
She
my
does.
positive, for my positive, I love being with the children. Okay, I had to leave my position twice. Okay, twice, and it was other reasons why the choice was made. But I still came back and I still showed up the same exact way that I showed up before because at the end of the day, I love my children and they always gonna get the best side of me, whether or not, okay, whether or not, because this is not what they asked for. They didn't ask, they don't care, and that's just it. So they're still gonna have their parties, they still gonna have their events, they still gonna have their activities and their fall festivals and all things because my situation has nothing to do with them. They're always gonna have their memories and they're always gonna have a special place in my heart either way. So that's my positive, and then my negative is um I honestly I agree with Patrice, honestly, for the negative, honestly, because when you start a role, they definitely feed you and sell you on this position of we are family, we're gonna do this, cheerio, all the things, right? But once you get into that specific role, it's a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire, and at the end of the day, the people that's on your hall is who is going to have your back ultimately, because we all looking at the same dumpster fire, and it was like if I don't help you set out this fire, it's gonna burn my room down. So at the end of the day, we a team down the hall, up and down the hall, and we gonna get it together no matter what. So staples, tape, construction paper, glue, and all, we in it together. So I would like you all to, I would like to thank you all for tuning in to the 6th episode of Childcare Unlocked. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.